Someone is planning to kick you out by using. Someone is secretly plotting to remove you from where you belong, not because you did something wrong, but because they cannot stand the power you carry when you simply exist. They have watched your silence, your strength, your calm energy, and it has shaken their weak foundation. They are trying to twist stories, manipulate opinions, and turn people against you, but what they do not understand is that the divine already saw their plan before they even thought of it. Every move they are making behind closed doors is being recorded by higher forces, and soon, everything they tried to hide will expose them in front of everyone they fooled. The energy they used to destroy you will circle back and destroy their own false image. You are being protected in ways you cannot yet see. The universe is not asleep, it is watching, listening, and preparing the perfect moment to flip everything in your favor. Do not panic. Do not react. The storm they started will end up washing them away. Stay still. Stay grounded. The more you rise in silence, the more their plans will fall apart. You were never meant to be removed, you were meant to be elevated. What they tried to steal from you will multiply. What they tried to block will break open. And what they spoke against you will turn into proof of your divine purpose. Keep your focus strong and your spirit unshaken. This is not their victory, this is your awakening. They wanted to kick you out, but soon they will watch you rise higher than they could ever reach. Their whispers will soon turn into regret. The same mouths that spoke against you will be forced to speak your name with respect. Every trap they built will collapse under their own weight, because the universe does not protect lies, it protects truth. You are the truth they tried to bury, and what is buried in light cannot stay hidden in darkness. They underestimated the power of divine timing. They thought you were alone, but unseen forces have been walking beside you, clearing paths you did not even know were blocked. Every rejection, every betrayal, every silent attack was part of a larger setup to reveal who truly stands for you and who never did. The masks around you are falling one by one, and the truth is finally stepping into the light. You are being elevated beyond their reach. The spaces they tried to close will open wider than before. The doors they tried to lock will break down without warning. Their energy cannot stop what was divinely written for you. They cannot destroy what is protected by grace. So stand tall. Watch everything unfold with calm power. You do not need revenge, the universe already took the case. The chaos they created will return to them multiplied in silence. And when the dust settles, you will still be standing, stronger, wiser, untouchable. They plan to kick you out. But the truth? You were never meant to stay there. You were meant to be moved to a higher place where no one can threaten your position again. They thought removing you would erase your light, but light does not fade when it's attacked, it expands. The moment they plotted against you, they unknowingly activated your transformation. The universe does not allow injustice to go unanswered. Every seed of deceit they planted will bloom into their own lesson, and you will walk away untouched, glowing with divine protection. Your silence is your greatest power. Do not waste it explaining yourself to those who never wanted to understand. Let them talk. Let them assume. Let them watch. Because soon, your rise will be louder than their lies. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. The universe removes you from certain places not to hurt you, but to place you where your energy can grow freely, without envy, without sabotage, without limits. What they meant as rejection was actually redirection. What they called an ending is the beginning of a chapter they will wish they were part of. The same ones who tried to erase your name will soon whisper it in awe, wondering how you survived everything designed to destroy you. But you didn't just survive, you evolved. There is a quiet storm around you, not one of chaos, but of change. Every silent night, every tear, every moment of doubt was shaping you into someone unshakable. They cannot stop what is destined. They cannot block what is divinely promised. You were chosen long before they decided to betray you. Keep moving with faith, even if the path feels uncertain. The higher powers are preparing to make your breakthrough so visible that even your enemies will have to admit, they never stood a chance. They tried to kick you out, but all they did was push you toward your throne. The moment they pushed you away, the universe smiled, because that was the exact move needed to place you in alignment with your destiny. They thought they ended your story, but they only ended their chapter in it. You were never meant to stay small just to make others comfortable. You were meant to outgrow the spaces that could not handle your energy. Their plan was built on ego, not truth, and ego always collapses under the weight of divine justice. They gathered in secret, thinking no one would know, but the divine saw every conversation, every fake smile, every word whispered behind your back. They thought they had the power to control your outcome, yet they were merely playing roles in your transformation. Now, everything they did is turning back toward them. The same doors they tried to close for you are closing on them. The same lies they spread are circling back as lessons they cannot escape. The energy they sent is returning home, not to you, but to them, multiplied. That is the law of divine order. What you give is what you face. You, on the other hand, are being called to rise without bitterness. Your silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. You are being guided to stand in quiet confidence while the universe rearranges everything in your favor. You will not need to fight for your place, your presence will speak louder than any defense. Soon, you will realize that everything they took from you was temporary, and everything you are about to receive will be permanent. Your name will be spoken with respect by the same people who once doubted you. Your energy will be felt in places your feet have not yet stepped. Your light will reach beyond the limits they tried to set. They planned to kick you out, but what they didn't know is that you can't remove someone who is divinely assigned. You are not leaving, you are ascending. And when you rise this time, no one will have the power to touch what the universe built around you. Every attempt they made to break you has become part of the foundation that now makes you unshakable. They worked in shadows, hoping you would crumble, but all they did was feed your strength. Every disappointment became discipline. Every betrayal became clarity. Every silent night of pain became the reason your spirit learned to roar without words. They thought they were clever, but divine intelligence is never outsmarted. What they planned in secret was already known by higher powers before it began. While they were busy plotting, the universe was already building your protection. While they whispered against you, light was gathering around you. While they celebrated your supposed fall, divine timing was preparing your rise. Do you understand now why everything had to happen the way it did? You were being separated from the false, the jealous, the manipulators who could never walk where you are going. They had to betray you so you could finally see their true colors. They had to push you so you would learn how to fly without their hands. Soon, their confusion will begin. They will watch your name rise where they swore it would never appear. They will hear your success echo in places they tried to erase you from. And when they ask how you did it, you won't have to say a word. Your peace will answer for you. Because peace is power. Silence is power. Divine favor is power. And that is what you carry now, an unexplainable, unstoppable energy that no human plan can undo. They thought they kicked you out. But truthfully, they only cleared your path. You were never meant to stay surrounded by people who feared your light. You were meant to walk freely, without permission, guided only by destiny. And when you look back one day, you will smile, not in anger, but in gratitude. Because every hand that tried to push you down was really helping you step higher. They didn't end your story, they made your story unforgettable. The truth is, their actions revealed everything you needed to know. They exposed their envy through their silence, their fear through their schemes, and their weakness through their need to destroy what they could never become. They tried to make you question your worth, but all they did was prove it. Because no one plots against something insignificant. Only light draws that kind of attention from the dark. And you are light, the kind that cannot be dimmed, not even by betrayal, not even by lies, not even by loss. The divine has been shaping you in the shadows, preparing you for a visibility that will leave your enemies speechless. They removed you from their circle, but that was only so the universe could place you at the center of your own. Now, the shift has begun. Energy is rearranging. The very people who wished to see you fall will be forced to watch you rise. The very doors they tried to close will open wider than ever before. Opportunities will find you effortlessly, because you are aligned with what was always meant to be yours. No force can stop what flows naturally toward you. Every time they spoke your name with bad intent, it became fuel for your transformation. Every insult became energy. Every betrayal became momentum. They tried to bury you, but you were a seed, and seeds grow best underground. They mistook your silence for defeat, but silence is where miracles are born. Keep your heart clean, your vision sharp, and your energy untouchable. Do not chase justice, it is already on its way. The universe keeps perfect balance. You are not forgotten, and you are not losing. You are simply being prepared for a moment so powerful that every pain will make sense. Soon, the same people who doubted you will come forward pretending they always believed. But by then, you will have outgrown their world completely. You will be walking on higher ground, untouched, unbothered, unstoppable. They thought they kicked you out. But in reality, the universe just cleared your throne. They believed that by removing you, they were erasing your presence, but they never understood that true power does not fade when ignored, it amplifies. The energy within you was never dependent on their validation. Your light was never meant to fit into their small spaces. It was meant to expand far beyond their reach, to illuminate places that were never meant for them to see. Now the universe is unfolding every hidden truth. Every false face is being revealed. Every lie is losing its power. Their energy is collapsing under its own weight, because nothing built on deception can stand against divine order. You, however, are being lifted higher by invisible hands, protected, guided, and strengthened by forces far greater than human plans. Your path is not random. Every moment of pain, every silent tear, every betrayal was a coded message from the divine, preparing you for this phase of elevation. You are stepping into a version of yourself that no one can manipulate. You are walking into spaces that were designed specifically for your energy. You are becoming untouchable, not because you fought harder, but because you finally aligned with who you were always meant to be. The ones who plotted against you are beginning to feel the pressure of their own energy returning home. What they sent out now surrounds them. The shadows they cast on your name are turning into lessons they cannot escape. And while they struggle to explain their downfall, you will rise with effortless grace, not with revenge, but with purpose. Do not look back. The chapter they belong to has ended. You owe no explanations, no forgiveness before you are ready, and no return to the places that once drained your soul. Keep walking forward. The divine will replace every person who hurt you with someone who truly values your light. The losses you faced will become landmarks of your strength. Because soon, the universe will make a public example of private pain. Your peace will be proof of your protection. Your success will be evidence of divine justice. And your rise will be the reminder that no one, no plan, no lie, no manipulation, can remove what destiny has already written. They tried to kick you out. But destiny never kicks out the chosen, it simply removes the unworthy from your path. They thought they silenced you forever, but silence was never your weakness, it was your preparation. The quiet moments they mistook for defeat were actually sacred pauses, where the universe was recharging your spirit, rebuilding your strength, and preparing you to return with a power they would never be able to understand. The time is coming when your absence will speak louder than your presence ever did. They will look for your energy, your ideas, your warmth, and realize too late that what they tried to remove was the very thing that held everything together. They tried to replace you, but they will learn that authenticity cannot be replicated, and divine favor cannot be transferred. While they are trapped in their own chaos, you will rise through peace. The storms that once terrified you will now obey you, because you learned how to dance in the rain instead of hiding from it. Every challenge that once felt like a curse was actually a coded blessing, the universe's way of molding you into someone who can't be broken. Their plots were temporary. Your purpose is eternal. They moved against you out of fear, not strength. They saw your light and mistook it for a threat, when it was actually an invitation to rise with you. But they chose envy instead of growth, betrayal instead of loyalty, deceit instead of truth, and now, they will face the weight of their choices. You, however, are stepping into divine ease. What used to feel heavy will now flow effortlessly. Doors will open without knocking, people will arrive without asking, and blessings will find you without chasing. The divine is about to place you in positions they once said you would never reach, not to prove them wrong, but to prove that faith never fails. You are no longer who you were when they tried to destroy you. You have become wiser, sharper, calmer. You have learned that power does not need to shout, it simply exists. And now, your existence alone is enough to shake the ones who once doubted you. They thought they kicked you out. But what they actually did was free you from their limits, their expectations, their fear. And now, nothing can stop what's already in motion. The universe has declared your rise unstoppable, your peace protected, and your destiny inevitable. They believed removing you would end your story, yet your silence has become the prologue of your greatest chapter. What they failed to realize is that divine plans don't collapse when humans interfere, they evolve. The rejection they celebrated was actually a sacred redirection. The door they closed was never yours, it was a wall meant to guide you toward something higher, something lasting, something unshakable. You were never meant to fit into their world, your frequency was always too high for their comfort. They feared your calm confidence, your vision, your light. They mistook your humility for weakness and your kindness for naivety. But now, the same traits they mocked are the reasons you will rise beyond their reach. You were not born to follow their rules, you were chosen to redefine them. They will soon see that nothing they did could stop what was already written. Every rumor they spread, every alliance they built, every door they slammed in your face, all of it was silently being used as material for your breakthrough. The divine turns betrayal into construction, using broken pieces to build unbreakable foundations. Now, the energy is shifting. Their masks are slipping. The people who once sided with them are beginning to see the truth, not because you spoke, but because the light always exposes the dark when the timing is right. You no longer need to prove anything. Your peace has become your proof. Your progress will be your response. Your glow will be your statement. There will come a day, very soon, when they will wish they had treated you differently. They will look at the life you are creating, one filled with abundance, grace, and power, and realize that what they tried to destroy was their own blessing in disguise. You were the energy they needed but didn't respect. And you will not look back in anger. You will look back in understanding. Because by losing them, you found yourself. By walking away, you discovered your worth. By letting go, you learned that peace is far more powerful than revenge. So walk forward with quiet strength. You are not who you were before they betrayed you. You are something rarer, someone who turned pain into wisdom, betrayal into clarity, and endings into divine beginnings. They thought they kicked you out. But in truth, they only cleared the stage for your grand entrance, and this time, the spotlight belongs entirely to you. They thought the story was over when they turned their backs, but endings do not exist for the chosen, only transformations. What looked like loss was really liberation. What felt like abandonment was divine relocation. You were never removed, you were released. Released from false alliances, from forced connections, from spaces that could no longer contain the magnitude of your becoming. They watched you in silence, expecting your downfall. But instead of breaking, you disappeared into your evolution. You grew in the dark, quietly, patiently, like a storm gathering strength. Now, the version of you that is emerging is one they will not recognize, because you are no longer the one they betrayed. You are the one who outgrew the betrayal. Every wound became wisdom. Every heartbreak became armor. Every ending became an awakening. And the universe, in its perfect rhythm, is now aligning everything that was once stolen from you, multiplied, purified, and returned in divine timing. You don't need to chase it. What is meant for you cannot be taken, delayed, or denied. They will soon realize that while they were busy tearing you down, you were building yourself into something unshakable. They will hear your name again, not whispered in gossip, but spoken in awe. They will see your face again, not as a rival, but as a reminder that divine favor cannot be erased by human jealousy. You no longer seek validation. You no longer crave revenge. You no longer explain yourself. That version of you, the one who begged for understanding, is gone. Now you simply walk in purpose, guided by peace and guarded by grace. You have learned that the greatest revenge is not retaliation, but transformation. Soon, everything they tried to destroy will rise before their eyes. The tables are turning quietly. The energy is reversing gracefully. And as their plans crumble, your purpose will bloom. They thought they removed you from the picture. But destiny never paints with their permission. The masterpiece continues, brighter, bolder, and far beyond their imagination. You were never kicked out. You were set free, to rise higher, shine louder, and live as proof that divine justice always arrives, even in silence. They believed they erased you, but what they actually did was give you the space to rewrite yourself. What they buried was not your end, it was your beginning, the rebirth of someone they will never be able to touch again. You walked through their fire, and instead of burning, you became the flame. You no longer fear loss, because you have learned that everything meant for you cannot be taken, it only transforms. The silence that followed your departure wasn't emptiness. It was alignment. It was the sound of the universe rearranging every detail in your favor. The divine removed the noise so you could hear the truth, that you never needed their approval, their company, or their acceptance. You were chosen for a path too powerful to be shared with people who walk in shadows. They tried to break your name, but they only made it echo louder. They tried to block your path, but they only redirected you to a higher one. They thought removing you would make them stronger, yet now they stand in the ruins of their own intentions, wondering why everything around them feels heavy while you move freely. The difference is vibration. You rose above theirs. You stopped feeding the cycle. You stopped defending yourself. You chose peace, and in that moment, you won a war they don't even realize is over. The universe fights for those who choose silence over chaos, grace over ego, faith over fear. Now your glow is different. It's not loud or forced, it's sacred. It carries the calm of someone who survived the storm and learned how to command the weather. People will start to notice it. They won't understand why your presence feels stronger now, but it's because you're no longer chasing, you're attracting. You've shifted from seeking to becoming. And soon, those who plotted against you will see what divine reversal truly looks like. They will watch you receive blessings they once tried to block. They will witness your peace become your protection. They will feel the absence of your energy in every space they once took for granted. This is your season of divine replacement. Every name that left your life is being replaced by loyalty. Every closed door is being replaced by destiny. Every loss is being rewritten as gain. You are not the same soul they tried to destroy, you are the proof that no plan can overpower divine purpose. They thought they kicked you out. But they only pushed you into your power. And now, nothing can stop what's already unfolding, your rise, your redemption, your reign. They thought they could silence your spirit, but they forgot that true power doesn't shout, it resonates. You don't need to prove your worth anymore, the energy surrounding you already speaks for you. The universe has begun to move in ways that no human interference can stop. Every unseen force is aligning behind your name, preparing to reveal you exactly when the world least expects it. They will soon realize that what they called the end was actually the divine's quiet preparation for your unveiling. You were hidden, not forgotten. Protected, not rejected. Every delay they mocked was a divine pause, allowing your spirit to grow roots so deep that no storm can uproot you now. Their plans have already begun to dissolve. Their alliances are cracking. Their confidence is fading. The false foundations they built upon your pain are collapsing under the weight of their own deceit. Meanwhile, you are rising in divine order, effortlessly, silently, beautifully. You are walking into rooms you once only dreamed of, and your energy is commanding attention without words. This is what happens when the chosen are underestimated. You were never competing with them, you were outgrowing them. You were never trying to prove you belonged, you were preparing to lead where they could never follow. They played games for positions, while you waited for purpose, and now purpose is rewarding your patience. You will notice the shift soon. People who ignored you will start to study you. Those who doubted you will start to imitate you. The same voices that tried to tear you down will start to echo your truth. They won't say your name, but they will move like you, speak like you, and think like you, because your energy left an imprint they can't erase. But you won't need to respond. You won't need to remind anyone of who you are. Your existence will do that for you. You've transcended the need for validation. Now your only focus is evolution. You're not fighting for a seat at their table anymore, you're building your own, one that no one can pull away. This is the divine reversal, the sacred moment where the ones who tried to push you out will realize they were only pushing you toward greatness. The energy they used to block you became the very force that lifted you. The rejection they celebrated became the redirection that crowned you. They thought they kicked you out, but destiny only used their hands to guide you higher. And now, as your light expands beyond their reach, they'll finally understand, you were never meant to fit in their world. You were meant to create your own. They believed the silence meant you were defeated, yet the truth is, silence was your strategy. You were never retreating, you were regenerating. While they filled the air with noise and lies, you filled your soul with power and purpose. The difference between you and them is alignment. You move with divine timing, they move with desperation. They built their comfort on illusions, while you built your future on faith. They sought control, you sought peace. They operated through fear, you evolved through grace. And now, as time unfolds, the separation becomes undeniable. Everything that once stood against you is beginning to crumble, not because you fought back, but because you learned to rise above. There's a shift happening, a quiet turning of the tide. You may not see it fully yet, but the energy is reversing. Their manipulation is meeting resistance. Their masks are slipping in public while your truth shines effortlessly in silence. The universe doesn't rush justice, it prepares it perfectly. Every hidden word, every unseen betrayal, every false move is being recorded in divine order, and the reckoning is already in motion. Meanwhile, you are evolving into the calm they never saw coming. You are walking in peace that confuses those who tried to destroy you. Your energy now carries authority, the kind that doesn't demand, it simply is. People are beginning to feel it before you even speak. That's what divine restoration looks like: undeniable presence, unshakable confidence, unstoppable purpose. Soon, the same doors that once rejected you will open without resistance. The same people who dismissed you will watch your name rise in places they can't access. The same ones who conspired against you will whisper, "How did they make it?" And the answer will be simple: grace. Grace carried you where noise could not. Grace protected you when strength was not enough. Grace rebuilt what betrayal tried to destroy. That is why you shine differently now, not with ego, but with essence. You no longer need to defend your value, the universe is doing it for you. And when they finally realize that all their plotting only pushed you into purpose, it will be too late. They will have to live with the truth that they trained the very soul that was destined to surpass them. They tried to kick you out, but the divine turned it into an elevation ceremony. You are no longer the same. You have become the storm they never saw coming, silent, steady, unstoppable. They thought you disappeared, but in truth, you were simply being refined. The silence they mistook for weakness was the sacred space where your spirit was being upgraded. You were not lost, you were becoming. Every moment you spent in stillness was a moment of alignment, with your purpose, your peace, and your power. Now the transformation is complete. You walk differently. You speak differently. You think from a higher frequency where their chaos can no longer reach you. You have stepped out of their energy field entirely, and that is why they feel your absence so deeply. They thought you needed their presence to shine, but your glow has only grown stronger in their absence. The same people who laughed when you fell will now whisper when you rise. They will feel a discomfort they cannot explain, not because you seek revenge, but because your peace has become a mirror to their guilt. The energy they once used to attack you will now haunt them as memory, a constant reminder that they lost access to something divinely protected. You, on the other hand, are no longer concerned with proving your worth. You've moved beyond reaction and into creation. Your focus is your future, not their failure. You've learned that the universe never wastes pain, it repurposes it into purpose. Every scar has become a symbol of strength, every loss a lesson, every betrayal a blessing in disguise. The divine has rewritten your timeline. The very paths that were blocked are now opening in directions you couldn't have imagined. Doors that once resisted you are now preparing for your arrival. People who once ignored you are sensing your return, not as the same person they left behind, but as someone reborn, untouchable, and guided by destiny. They will see your rise, and they will remember. They will recall the moments they doubted you, the times they mocked your silence, the day they believed you were done. And as your name begins to echo in rooms they once tried to keep you out of, they will finally understand that no human plan can overpower divine protection. They thought they kicked you out, but the universe simply cleared your path. You were never meant to stay in small places built on ego and fear. You were meant to build empires of purpose, forged from truth, humility, and strength. This is your era of divine visibility, the moment when everything that once broke you now bows to you. And as you rise, remember this: you don't need to announce your power. Real power doesn't shout. It simply arrives, and everything around it adjusts. And now, here you stand, calm, radiant, untouchable. The battle they thought would break you became the fire that shaped you. You no longer carry the weight of proving who you are, your presence alone tells the story. The energy around you has shifted, you have become the lesson, the proof, and the prophecy all at once. They tried to erase your name, but now it echoes through the very spaces they tried to keep you from. They thought removing you would weaken your light, but your glow has only grown louder, brighter, undeniable. Every attempt to bury you became divine soil, and from that soil, you rose. Not as who you were, but as who you were always meant to be. The universe has balanced every injustice. The ones who conspired against you now face the mirrors of their own actions. Their words have lost power. Their energy no longer reaches you. You are protected by peace, guided by truth, and fueled by a strength they could never understand. You didn't just survive their plans, you transcended them. Now you walk with grace, not the fragile kind that fears breaking, but the sacred kind that knows it can't be broken. You move differently because you've learned that real victory is silent. Real power doesn't seek attention, it radiates effortlessly. You have nothing to prove, nothing to chase, nothing to fear. Every lesson has come full circle. The pain turned into power. The rejection became redirection. The betrayal became your blessing. You have stepped out of the story they tried to write for you and into the destiny the universe always intended. Let them watch. Let them wonder. Let them whisper. Because now your rise is not revenge, it's revelation. You are the evidence that divine timing never fails, that light always returns, and that no one can remove what is written in the stars. They thought they kicked you out. But the truth is, they only opened the gates for your ascension. You were never defeated. You were being crowned. And now, your reign begins.